Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with round 10 of season 4 of the F123 My Team career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here at the Canadian Grand Prix. Of course, if you missed out on yesterday's video from Barcelona, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. Safe to say, we're finding our groove once again inside F123. Of course, we've got the new patch now as well. Obviously, I made a video on that a couple of days ago, taking on the all-new Singapore Grand Prix circuit, of course, because obviously, me being me, we would take it out of the game right when a decent change was made to a racetrack there. But championship-wise, Verstappen's still at the top of the table. 13 points clear now as we head into the Canadian Grand Prix. He has led ever since round 2 of the season. And, well, if we had another good race today, maybe we could try and put a stop to that. We're P2, 13 back, like we said. 16 points behind me is Lando, Norris there. But Audi back on top in the Constructors' Championship after a couple of rough races for Yuki Tsunoda there. Waiting in the wings still in P4. And I love the fact that any driver inside the top 4 of the Drivers' Championship will be leading the Constructors by themselves. There's been absolutely a dominant display by Red Bull and ourselves so far. But hopefully, as we dive into this weekend, Red Bull are taking 5 wins this season. We've had 4. Can we even it up? Can we get our 4th race victory in a row? All will be revealed. Canada has often been a very, very unlucky track for me so far in F123. So I desperately would love to change that today. Get yourself subscribed if you're not already. We're trying to close in on 120,000 subscribers at the moment. And let's do this thing. Once again then, we are ready for qualifying. Obviously, next weekend we've got a sprint race. So the final Saturday qualifying for a couple of weekends here. But yeah, often though, Canada are actually a very, very difficult track to try and get a lap hooked up. Then again, felt like I said the same thing last weekend in Barcelona. Really am still of the mindset of that weekend. It was a bit of a one-off, a bit of an outlier in terms of the general performance of the car. But, would love for it to be a bit more of a consistent thing here. As, yeah, we'll wait and see. Of course, track limits as well, the other big thing around Montreal, trying to get everything hooked up on a lap. That's so easy just to make a mistake. Of course, you're actually able to run a bit more downforce and higher ride height than you expect to be here. Really having to try and attack the curbing where you can, but of course it can really upset the car as well. So you can just see through there, trying to be cool, calm and collected. Of course, want to make it out of Q1 just on the single set of the mediums if possible there, but a 10th down on the benchmark set by Jack Doohan at the moment. Yeah, like I said, this track's tough. It's not easy, it's not rewarding for the human player. Really does favour the AI quite aggressively, actually, around this venue, especially when the cars become heavily upgraded, and especially because, of course, our Mercedes power units are in trouble. As I was looking at the 50-metre board rather than the 100 there, that's going to be the bumpiest ride you'll ever see through the final couple of turns, and that's going to be an 11.5. We need about 2 seconds based on that. Well, everyone's trying to get themselves ready for their final Q1 lap here, and I'm just trying to find some best track space I possibly can around this venue. Actually looks like we're going to be battling with Carlos Sainz to start a lap here, so we're going to try and switch back the Spaniard out of the final corner. This might be an absolute disaster as we get ready to start my final run in Q1. We've also got a McLaren car of Drugovic, and maybe we probably could have waited where we were, but there were quite a lot of cars behind me, and I didn't know if they were starting or finishing their laps either. So we'll try and see what we can do, see if we can hang close to Carlos Sainz as best as possible. I mean, the Spaniard is up in P8 at the moment. Not really going to allow us to set a particularly amazing lap time, but actually, of all the tracks, Montreal even, probably one of the better ones to be stuck in the dirty air of another car. That you can just see the AI so assured on the throttle. Of course, they can just ride the power as early as they like through a lot of the corners, and we just aren't able to do that at the moment as we make our way down in towards the hairpin. Can often try and gain a bit of time through there. Nice and steady on the throttle on the exit, but still only 2/10 up at the moment, so we're really banking on making up a lot of time out of the final corner. Magnussen seems to have had a bit of a disaster all the way down in P19 in the Aston Martin, braking very, very early through the final chicane there, but a much better run off the corner, and we should still make it through. 1:10.2 though is not a comfortable time. P16 we barely made it by. Okay, well now we really need no nonsense as we get into Q2 and Q3 here. Even making Q3 might be quite a tall order. I don't know what it is about Canada. I don't know what it is about my driving here, but we really just struggle to find our way around this venue. Would love to try and get through on a single run, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Run through the final chicane even. That's a much better lap than we did first time round. And there we go, a 9-1. Not really sure we could find much more time on that if I wanted to, but that puts us P5. And we got to hope that's going to be enough. And in the end, everyone improving by the end of Q2 there. Lando Norris on a 108.4. Gasly just behind him on a 108.5 there. But a 109.1 for us. Only good enough for P12 here. I don't know what it is about qualifying here at Montreal. I don't think I could have found another 0.3 of a second there. Maybe we could have got the better of Kevin Magnussen, but that has been a nightmare in qualifying ready for the Canadian Grand Prix. We have got a lot of work to do come Grand Prix Sunday.
Montreal is not only the second largest French-speaking city in the world, but it's home since 1978 to the Canadian Grand Prix. The name Villeneuve looms large over this one, but who can write their own legends today? With top speeds of around 210 miles per hour heading into the overtaking opportunity of turn 13, the 2.7 miles of the circuit Gilles Villeneuve are some of the quickest on the Formula One calendar. There are 14 corners in total, with 60% of the lap taken at full throttle, and average speeds clock in at about 130 miles per hour. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. It's Carlos Sainz in pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Tsunoda, Verstappen, Gasly, Oscar Piastri, Russell, Ocon, Albon, Magnussen, Mr. Monaco, De Vries, Drugovich, Liam Lawson, Joe, Doohan, Fittipaldi, Théo Pourchaire, Bottas, Stroll and Logan Sargent. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
After the points finished last race, let's aim to keep that momentum going.
Well, here we are then on the grid, ready for the Canadian Grand Prix. A bit of a nightmare on Saturday. I honestly thought that lap was going to be good enough to see us into Q3, but apparently not. But hopefully race day Sunday, we can come back strong and we can try and fight for a big result here. 35 laps ahead of us. Going to go aggressive on the strategy once again, but of course not afraid to do a two-stop here if we need to either. But Carlos Sainz Ferrari back on pole position. They really seem to have come on a little bit in recent races. Will they be able to do it today? Right, here we are though, ready on the grid for the Canadian Grand Prix. 5 red lights. Lights out, and away we go there. And actually pretty good hookup off the initial start. Gasly and Ocon, the two Frenchmen, not going away anywhere as we've got nowhere to go down in towards turn 1. Ocon is going to try and recover the spots that he lost there, and actually able to do so using his teammate Alex Albon as a bit of a roadblock as we go side by side with Magnussen up the hill. Or Magnussen is going to try and turn in on me. A very Magnussen style move there by the Dane. But we hold firm, and we do keep the nose up the inside there and don't end up losing the place. Is okay, rear brake bias is definitely too far on the rear at 55%. Really am struggling with the pressures and the bias this weekend. I think that has been one of the many, many reasons why we have struggled around this venue. But will today still be a good day for us, or is it going to be more of damage limitation? Of course, I'd still love to outscore Verstappen. It really just has not been in the swing of things in recent times. We're trying to look around the outside of Ocon down at the hairpin. Magnussen again trying to capitalise off the opportunity there. It's the Frenchman giving me a bit of a squeeze off of the corner. I'm going to use plenty of battery as we head down in towards the final couple of corners. You can still see how much more top-end speed that Alpine has got. Yeah, I kind of feel like Ocon, you know, he was on the outside there. He was definitely more on the long side me, but both of us full sent it into the chicane. We are up, though, 2 places on lap 1, which is good, but we have got a warning already on the board. Here we go. Are we going to be able to apply some pressure to Albon as we head down in towards the final corner? The Thai driver very, very early on the brakes, but we're going to be able to try and switch him off of the corner as Carlos Sainz still setting fastest laps at the front of the field there. Lando Norris seems to have his work cut out with those Ferraris. Oh, kind of got a little bit of oversteer there as we tried to get on the loud pedal between 1 and 2. Just came across Albon's nose there, a little bit like Button. It's a very obscure reference, but Button at the 2009 Brazilian Grand Prix, that championship winning move on Kamui Kobayashi where he kicks the back end out between 1 and 2 there, of course, just to tell the, you know, the young Japanese driver in his debut race that place was Button's for the taking. But already a little way back behind George Russell and Pierre Gasly in the Mercs, so we got to try and knuckle down and get a bit closer to them. Might be one of those tracks again, a bit like Monaco, where the softest compound just does not seem to be the way to go. The problem we've got early on here is Mercedes very much getting dragged along by those other quicker cars in front of them. We're not really able to take any time out of Pierre Gasly unless he loses the DRS range to his teammate George Russell, which is, yeah, not looking possible at the moment. Of course, Oscar Piastri up there, last year's Canadian Grand Prix winner in this series. And honestly, what I'm already tempted to do is switch over to a 2-stop and try and see what we can do on a double set of mediums. The only other thing I'm a bit nervous, fuel usage as well. We're not really saving any here, which often has kind of been the good indicator early on in a race, depending on how much fuel we can save. We might still be able to recover it, but it's not going up as much as I'd hoped. Oh, big front lock-in. We're going to dive in. We basically almost got forced into that, to be honest, on just lap 6 of the GP there. We're going to try and do double mediums to the end of the afternoon, but even if we can undercut our way a little bit closer to the front runners here, the soft compound tyres just not working early on this afternoon. We are going to be out at the rear of the field, hopefully with a few laps without any traffic, but yeah, 2-stop, like I said, it's not the end of the world around this venue. I don't mind having to do it around here, but yeah, having to pit that early today is not ideal, especially when we know just how much of a chance there is of a safety car here. Let's just get my head down and focus up. There's already 3-second penalty. That's not good. Oh, down the outside of Lance Stroll. Clearly, this fresh set of medium compound tyres are providing us with a nice grip advantage over the AI, but we are also comparing ourselves to the back markers, as you can see, instantly onto the red line as Alfa Romeo's there side by side, just a little bit further in front, and any sort of advantage we might get can very quickly be eradicated if you get stuck behind a slower car, even if it's just for a sector. Whoa, Zhou Guanyu there, big lock-up, as we had to try and avoid him and Logan Sargent down at turn 1. Bottas has suddenly got a little bit of a window to break free, as instantly trying to attack the Alpha Tauri through the next couple of corners. And this is exactly what I mean about having to try and carve our way through. But yeah, just so scary when you have those moments. That was certainly panic-inducing. So Guanyu trying to defend. I'm not really too sure why. So we'll fly past him. We'll squeeze him out in towards the next corner, and we should also be in the range of Bottas. Hopefully then down in towards the final couple of corners. We're going to be able to try and fly past Valtteri in this GP. Not actually able to get close enough down in towards the final turn. There's the Alfa Romeo there braking earlier. I was expecting locking up the fronts behind him again. Surely off the corner, though. We do not want to be stuck. Heading in through Sector 1, down the inside of the Flying Fin will go. And we're up another place. Well, are we going to see Fittipaldi trying to apply some pressure to Jack Doohan through the final couple of corners? Not just yet, as we're still just sitting back, watching the show unfold. Paces seem pretty good on these mediums, actually a whole lot better than the soft, so I think we've just got to stop trying to take the soft tyres around this venue. As can we get around the outside of Fittipaldi through turn 1? Yes, we can. Clean around the outside, sorry, through turn 2 even, I should say. As now Doohan, you can see through the next couple of corners there, that AlphaTauri a little bit all over the road. Jack Doohan having a very, very good race out here so far. Seems that car a little bit quicker in his hands this weekend, but we're through another one. And we've got a bit of DRS as well, as we're already at 1/3 distance here. Race is going by pretty well so far, but of course, effectively, the way this race is going to work out, we're still battling those leaders. We're going to have quicker tyres, basically, from now until the end. But of course, we've also got the same amount of pit stops to do. Nice run through the chicane this time around. Are we going to be able to do to Lawson what we did to Doohan just a lap ago? Yes, we are. Down the inside we'll go. And up another place then in this GP. It's reassuring early on. 7 seconds up to De Vries and Drogovic. Those are now really the cars we need to be trying to hunt down and absolutely be ahead of, because it's not going to be long before AI start pitting. Oh, yellow's out. Someone's caused carnage here. Looks like the Ferraris potentially have gone side by side through the final chicane there, and that's given Lando Norris a huge breakthrough at the front of the field. Bodes well for me as well, of course, because of the amount of time we're gaining on everyone here, and hopefully going to continue to gain between now and the end of the GP. I'd say we're about 11 seconds behind that gaggle of cars. That's not the line through turn 2. So effectively, that's what we're trying to close down between now and the end. There we go. Now starting to see AI into the pit lane then. So some of our soft compound runners definitely would not have wanted to take that set of tyres 15 laps had I wanted to stick to the one stop. These mediums are working beautifully early on. But yeah, you can see how big of an advantage we have got. So even if when Lando pits, we might actually be out ahead of him in this GP. Of course, I know we've got another pit stop to make this afternoon. But yeah, we're quite far ahead. Oh, yellow's out. Someone's got issues. Safety car now would not be great for us. So are we going to see a safety car? One of the Alfa Romeos seems to be pulling over. Looks like might get away with it though. Zhou Guanyu out. Whoa. Of the Grand Prix, as that almost could have been us out of the race as well. No, Norris then into the pit lane at the end of lap 17 here, as looks like the yellow flags out as well. One of the AlphaTauri is going slowly. That would be Jack Doohan out of the Grand Prix then. But where are we going to re-emerge relative to Lando in this GP? Of course, on that set of hard compound tyres to see himself to the checkered flag. Wouldn't even mind taking some DRS off him for a couple of laps. But we'll be out ahead of our teammate then. So, you know, if we could take these tyres to the end, never... Hang on. Sorry, what is that tyre life? So we got another warning. See how much we're pushing on the set, but we're only at like 20% wear. Surely it's not worth the gamble. Here we go, Lando Norris is going to fly past me anyway, so now really the question is, how close can we stay to our teammate over the next couple of laps? If I can stay in the DRS, then maybe it's worth trying to hang on to his coattails at the rest of the afternoon, but if not, I mean, 30 laps on a set of mediums? That seems quite outrageous here, to be completely honest, as unfortunately, yeah, Lando actually had the DRS, not myself, but yeah, he's going to be flying around for the next couple of laps, but if I can stay with him, that could be a mega turnaround. Yuki Tsunoda now to the lead of the Grand Prix, but yeah, so weird the way the pace just ebbs and flows this season. One weekend we look unstoppable, the next... yeah, way back, is not going to be able to stay in the DRS of Lando, so definitely going to be boxing again. There we go, Tsunoda into the box as well then, so yeah, looks like there's a big gaggle of cars though, really from, what, P3 backwards, all the way down to those McLarens now in 13th and 14th place, so we could still be trying to pick off a lot of cars in the second half of this race, but I'm going to be diving in then at the end of this lap. 14 laps on the first stint, 15 on the second, just because we'll have slightly less fuel. Gonna have to make sure that we manage the tyres, though, a tiny bit better. The site's only 5 seconds back. I've got to make sure that we get the car slowed down into the pit lane. Here is Lando. Norris looks dead set to make it 4 wins in a row for the team, but we're probably going to re-emerge. Oh, 47. Turn those tyres into 50 pence pieces. But yeah, we're going to re-emerge behind the McLarens then in this race. So still a lot of work to do in the second half. Most runners now on a set of the hard compound tyres. Looks like Magnussen's actually done a very, very good job as well in all of this. But yeah, going to be a couple of seconds away. I've got a lot of work to do still. I mean, we could still get P2 if things went our way, if the hard tyres really don't work. But I wouldn't rely on it just yet. I just want to beat Max. That's the big goal. Yep, fastest lap. May as well try and see if we can claim that point and take it away from someone else. But yeah, closing in a second a lap at the moment on the McLarens. But they're starting to drop back again behind those other cars. Really does seem like that whole gaggle is kind of falling into 2 or 3 groups now, which is not what I want to see. Trying to get a run on Felipe Drugovich out of the final corner. Another new fast lap of the day. Oh, that was not quite what I had in mind, but down the inside of both McLarens at turn 1 there. 10 laps to go then of the GP. We're just 2 seconds back behind the Alpine of Alex Albon as we've got more yellow flags out, and we've got a safety car. Do I pit? Do I use a set of soft compound tyres for the final few laps? I think we might have to go for it, as I was gonna say. Late race safety cars here aren't uncommon here in Montreal, but yeah, 7 laps on a set of softs, so will we be able to make good progress? This is a big, big gamble. Well, no one else looks to be pitting, so I reckon we got to take a punt here. Into the pit lane we'll go. Just make sure that we get the car slowed down nicely. And yeah, we've got to try and go for it. I think we'll still be out ahead of Liam Lawson, so those 2 places I gained at turn 1 are going to be the only ones we lose out on here. But we need to be so much quicker than the AI if we want to get through. And of course, you know, negate the advantage, or sorry, the disadvantage really, I suppose, of the 3-second penalty. But Lando, he's been comfortable out front pretty much all afternoon. He's going to be under pressure towards the end of this. I guess the other good thing in all of this is any worry I had about fuel concerns are now completely eradicated as well. But yeah, plenty of incidents today. Canada often does provide that inside F123. But yeah, often the home of a late race safety car is Montreal. Well, Lando Norris then has led this thing right from the get-go. But we have got a lot of work to do. Still the chance for damage limitation late on in the day, but we need to be feisty and we need to make up a lot of places there. Max Verstappen, I think, is still running in about P3 of this GP, so if we want to take points out of him, we're going to need a miracle, but damage limitation has got to be the goal. Is heading our way in towards the final couple of corners then. It is going to be green flag racing once again here in Montreal. We've got no more warnings as well. We have got that 3-second penalty to try and navigate, but let's wait and see what we can do there. Already struggling a little bit with the front locking. You can see how much more grip we've got through turn 2, around the outside of Nick de Vries immediately, and hopefully we're going to be doing a lot more of that. So try and get a run on Drugovich through the next couple of corners, those 2 places I lost from pitting, and immediately we have regained them. Albon up next. Come on then, let's try and get a run on Albon out of the next chicane. Still not in the points, even if we complete this move down the inside. Okay, now we're in the points, down the inside of Gasly as well at the same time there, and I'm sure the Mercedes driver saw just an Audi absolutely flying in and probably thought it was best just to avoid it. Mark loving it though, as now we're trying to look around the outside of Charles Leclerc. Not quite going to happen though, in towards the final chicane. Charlie boy having a bit of a nightmare after showcasing some good pace on Saturday. We'll try and immediately then get the switch back on him out of the final corner. Whoa! Bit too much of a squeeze there on Charles Leclerc at turn 1, but we will complete the move, albeit far more aggressively than I ever intended. Ocon though having a pretty decent day out of it at the moment, as already looks like Piastri is trying to defend for his life. No, it's not Piastri, is it? It's Kevin Magnussen, who went on a very aggressive alternate strategy to most of the other runners here. George Russell, he's not going to look particularly good off of the hairpin. Are we going to be able to get some straight line momentum around the outside of the Mercedes, having to drain the battery to make our way down? Yuki Tsunoda, though, trips over himself through the final chicane, and that might allow us to gain another couple of spots then, as Oscar Piastri trying to make a move. Oh, I almost made that 3 wide then down at turn 1. Shades of Sebastian Vettel, I think it was back in 2017, wasn't it, here, as Piastri will try and go one way around Yuki. We're going to try and go the other then. Tsunoda seemingly absolutely swamped at the moment, but we'll make it by. And we are up now into P6 then. Oscar Piastri, no DRS. Surely this one will be a nice easy move for us as we try and have a look around the outside. Oh, you can see the Aston Martin there wanted to defend the place but could not do it. We're up another one. Magnussen next, but we won't have the DRS. 4 laps to go, and Magnussen absolutely having his race of his season so far, running up in P4, but hopefully we're going to try and relegate him down into 5th place. He knows that we'll have the penalty, so he'll just want to try and hang with us if we find a way around him, but already trying to eye up what the gap's going to be to Oscar Piastri a little bit further behind there. Plenty of curb, so we try and get the power down out onto the back straight, and are we going to be able to go for a second move on the Aston Martins down here? Try and have a look around the outside of Magnussen. Yes, we will. We'll swoop through there. Throw him offline as well on the exit. That's going to mean he's got no DRS either. Sainz, Verstappen, Lando at the front of this field. How much more can we get?
The transmission is
No.
significantly damaged. We're down a gear, I'm afraid.
Which gear have we lost? Oh, it's 4th gear. No, that is so useful around here. Oh, dearie me. So that's going to make things even more tricky in the final few laps here. We've got 2.7 seconds over Oscar Piastri, but now we're going to have to try and shift through that 4th gear. Often it only lasts for a lap or two, but late on here in Canada, we probably should have put a new gearbox in the car. Verstappen to the inside of Sainz. Can't quite make anything happen there, but it's those corners that really cost us. And now we'll have some DRS off the Dutchman. Well, we might still be able to try and find a run on Max Verstappen here, so we're going to try and send it to the inside of the Red Bull. Again, another aggressive move, but another move that we have to make here late on in the day. Mark loving that one, as we've instantly been able to get the Dutchman out of the DRS range. Surely we can't pull out 2 seconds, though, in the space of a lap and a half. That being said, Carlos Sainz is pulling a little bit away from me. As long as we keep the Dutchman out of the DRS range, which I think we have done, maybe we can get a run on Sainz here, and 1 more lap to go. Here, we might be able to do something as Piastri, we've got the gap we need over him at the moment. Surely we can get a run on Carlos Sainz down in towards the final corner, which we will do. 1 lap to go at the Canadian Grand Prix. We're up to 2nd on the road, but where will it be come the end of this one? Effectively, we've got 1 more qualifying lap as the gap to Verstappen up to 1.8 seconds. Can we gain 1.3 in just a single lap here? We've got to give it our all. We've lost the gear, but it's not going to stop me. Oh, there we go. 4th gear's back. That's fantastic. That really helps us, so we can try and continue pushing on. You can see how many corners 4th gear is useful around this venue, as the gap up to 2 seconds to Verstappen, but definitely not going to get Sainz here. Rear tyres are absolutely giving up the ghost, though, and I don't think we're quite going to be able to get close enough to Lando to get inside that DRS on the final lap of this GP. They're struggling now with rear locking as well to make our way out of the hairpin for the final time. It will require a full send through the final chicane there, but you know what? The gap to Verstappen is still going up. It was up to 2.6 seconds temporarily. We need to use the grip. Anything we've got through the final chicane there. Full send, both on the entry and on the exit. Huge slide as we hit the wall out of the final corner, though. It's only going to be P4.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
A hard-fought win today then, after a very difficult race. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, what a race. At the end of the day, it is all about raw pace, and our winner had it in spades today.
Well, I'm thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of that race, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to our drivers here. They've worked hard to make it up there, and it's great to see them make their way onto the podium now. So let's review the updated driver standings. Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. So then, Natalie Pinkham, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
I think for driver of the day, I'd probably pick Lando Norris. He lived up to every inch of his reputation today, and I think he'll be going home, quite rightly, a bit proud of himself.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. The owner-drivers team moved to the top of the table. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Well, there we are then, the end of the Canadian Grand Prix, and Lando Norris gets his third win of the year there. And after 10 races, it's 5 for Red Bull and 5 for Audi there. Carlos Sainz beats Verstappen and myself there to P4. To be honest, yeah, the late race safety car kind of carried me today. We just did not have the pace. But with the fastest lap bonus point as well, only 2 points lost to the Dutchman, I am rather happy with there. Piastri got the better of Magnussen, Tsunoda, Russell, Ocon, and Pierre Gasly will round out our top 10 there. And yeah, incidents aplenty leave just Jack Doohan and Zhou Guanyu unable to see the checkered flag. Championship-wise, though, 19 points now covering our top 3. The early form of Yuki Tsunoda really does seem to have gone away ever since his win in Miami. And constructors-wise, 25 points ahead of Red Bull at the moment. There is Aston Martin now ahead of Alpine as well after another big result. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back very, very soon when Formula One returns. Next time out for the second sprint of the year, we'll be back in Austria. A massive thank you to my Patreon supporters that you can see currently on your screens. If you want to join them from as little as £1 a month, it would be massively appreciated and you help support my work. You also get access to weekly updates from myself with everything going on behind the scenes with the channel. But yeah, a massive thank you to the names you see on your screen, and we'll be back very soon with a brand new video.